Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Serenity Gaming for Division 3 as we enter Week 8 of 9 as Caeli take on Roskilde. And we are just a few minutes away from Champion Select, both the teams sitting fairly pretty in 5th in the standings. So this is going to be an extremely important game as they look to cement their positions in for playoffs. If either team can get a 2-0 clean sweep, they will be guaranteed a playoff spot, I believe. So guys, do get some hype in the chat for this game. Again, of course, whenever we think Caeli, our minds always go to Hunica. I say this every time. Of course, he has his infamous cannon, which will most likely be banned. So unfortunately, I doubt we will be able to see that this time, but we might be seeing some spicy picks coming through. Of course, Nautilus still fairly strong. He has been nerfed as well a little bit as we enter patch 9.11. So interesting to see how this will go, especially considering Caeli, they are very strong in their bot lane with Nick the Panda and Gorange, who will be playing against Experts and Jakobsen. So we will have to see how that goes. Of course, Aatrox still a possibility as well, could be flexed in the jungle or even to the mid lane. But just going to run you through the current standings of Division. Currently, you have Arctic, who have finished all of their games. They finished early with 26 out of a maximum of 27 points. So getting a 2-0 clean sweep every single best of 3, with the exception of one where they had a 2-1 win. Then you've got Egadal Esport sitting in second on 17 points, followed by Lyra, who are also on 17 points. Capricorn sitting fourth on 16, followed by teams that we're casting on today, Caeli and Roskilde, who are both on 13. So if either of them do get that clean sweep, they will move 6 points ahead of Crater, who are sitting in 7th. And of course, they'll be right in that hunt for second place, only 1 point from Egadal Esports.
Hvis du vil høre din yndlingssang lige nu, så skal du have Spotify Premium. Med Premium er der...
So I think we are pretty much ready to go. As we mentioned, probably going to be seeing that Kennen being banned out straight away. Maybe the Vlad as well is the champion that Hunica can also play. And interested to see how Caeli will draft around it as a result. Also, we'll have to watch out for that mid lane Falk into Captain Terrible. Yeah, of course, I say it every single time Caeli comes up, but we do have to watch out for Hunica, one of their strongest players, and has a strong KDA. If he gets the cannon, he just essentially pops off. Also, watch out for the Hecarim. He's pulled it out twice already this split. Currently sitting with a 4.17 KDA ratio on that. Also, Nick the Panda, don't forget he does like his late game hyper carries, so watch out for stuff like the Vayne coming through, maybe even as the Xayah or the Kai'Sa. Maybe he could see a Triss as well, although he hasn't yet played it in this split. And we will be going into bans then, or at least they're telling us we're going into picks and bans, and yes, we are into our picks and bans now. So first ban, let's see, it's going to be the Rek'Sai, so banning out that early game priority in the jungle as soon as they can, which I guess it makes sense. Taking that away from Thompson, who has only had one Rek'Sai game so far this split, one loss. Has picked up the Hecarim twice, and with 2 wins on that at the minute, as the Kennen going to be banned out straight away. No surprises there, as Fura also being banned away from sometimes, so taking away those split pushing options, as the Hecarim going to be banned away from Thompson as well. So 2 bans focusing on Thompson there in the jungle. Kai'Sa also going to be banned away from Nick the Panda. Takes away one of his preferred late game hyper carries. Still a lot of options as Silas is going to be picked up. So, of course, that could be going mid lane or top. I doubt it's going to be going jungle. It does work in the jungle, but most likely I think we will be seeing that picked up on Hunica. But you do have to respect the potential of it being flexed around the map. So Tristana going to be locked in for Roskilde. Don't forget these 2 teams did play against each other in the Wintersplit back when it was only Division 1 and 2. And I believe Caeli, Roskilde came out on top that time round. If you remember, it was Roskilde, Tyne and Lyra who were the top 3. And then you had the likes of Caeli and Crater battling for that 4th place spot. So we will have to see if Caeli can get their revenge as the Alistar are going to be locked in. So Roskilde making their intentions quite clear, what they're playing in the bot lane. The Tristana Alistar. Alistar just nice and safe. Going to try to let that Tristana scale up as much as possible. So we'll have to see what Nick the Panda and Gorange will be going for. Potentially something like that Xayah Rakan is available. And Xayah Rakan is still always going to be that thing that's strongest. Rakan's picked up and Xayah's picked up. Procasting right here. But yeah, Xayah Rakan taken as Vel'Koz will be picked up by Captain Terrible. So it's an interesting pick, let's just say. He hasn't played it yet, this split, from what I can tell. So we will have to see how they play against this. So the Camille going to be banned away, and Camille, that's an interesting one for me because as far as I was aware, Camille isn't that strong. I remember back in season 8 or season 9, she did get nerfed. Her jungle play got nerfed quite a bit. She still does get played, but she's just not as strong or not as much of a high priority pick as she used to be back then. And I think it's something to do with her AoE damage was reduced as the Urgot and the Sejuani will be banned away. We're going to wait to see what the final ban is, and probably going to be something jungle focused as the Jarvan will get banned away. Again, focusing on Thompson, they do not want him to be on anything that he could potentially be carrying with. They know that he's a threat, and as such, they will give him the respect that he deserves, banning that away. Obviously, Hecarim banned out as well, so he doesn't have that option as Annie. Okay, please pick Annie. I want to see. Okay, there we go. Lee Sin. I was thinking, Annie, are we going back to that point in Season 8 where Annie top was a thing and Annie came back into the meta? But it's going to be Lee Sin in the jungle. I doubt that's going to be going in the top lanes. It's just happen. So Lee Sin jungle. So let's see how they plan on counter-picking this. We could be seeing something like that Nunu coming through. But the Amumu being hovered, and Amumu very strong at the minute. Probably the strongest jungle pick. Or at least he was in patch 9.10. I haven't seen the patch notes for 9.11. So, oh, no, don't do this. He's hovering it. He told me before that he wanted to play Leona. And I got baited. I got baited by it for just a second. And then I remembered Xayah Rakan. And then I thought, maybe Leona jungle. I've seen it before. But yeah, obviously you got the Amumu. So Irelia will be picked up. So the question is it going to be Irelia mid? Or will it be Hunica playing that Irelia in that top lane? But I mean, what is confirmed is you're going to have Nick the Panda and Gorange on that Xayah Rakan in the bot lane playing into the Tristana Alistar, which will be interesting to see how that pans out. Also, don't forget, if any of you were wondering where Holberg is, he's not here. He has been subbed in by Falk, who is, of course, also the coach for Caeli. So, you know, it's going to be interesting. He's going to be there in the thick of the battles, you know. telling his team, what on earth are you doing? You're not listening to my coaching properly. But, yeah. But you have got the Irelia, and it does look like Falk will be playing that Irelia going into Captain Terrible on the Vel'Koz. And, I mean, you're just going to have to watch out for when they hit 6. It's going to be in quite an explosive lane. And you're probably going to be seeing I Am Your Dead and Thompson focusing quite a few of their efforts. As just to highlight the last pick, it is a Darius. Sometimes will be playing on that Darius, which of course is a very, very powerful pick. And we know how strong sometimes is. He has been really important for Roskilde, able to win in that solo lane, regardless of whether he's playing on something like the Camille, something like the Kled, something like the Fiora. So this is going to be a hotly contested top lane. You've got both teams who do rely a lot on their top laners, and they are both on champions that can massively, massively influence the game. Of course, Silas, if he steals anything such as the Vel'Koz ultimate, that will be absolutely massive, whereas sometimes in that team fight can just do so much damage with the ultimate resets. However, that being said, I don't think we're going to see much of I Am Your Dead in that bot lane, just because Jakobsen has the potential just to disengage so easily. And I really think he's going to be I Am Your Dead will be focusing on Captain Terrible in the mid lane, just because Vel'Koz has so little maneuverability, so little escape mechanisms. It's just going to be that little bit of easy pickings for him. I don't really think much will be happening in the top lane from I Am Your Dead side, just because if it's really risky when you try to gank a Darius, especially if he gets an early kill or something, because Darius is one of the few top laners alongside the likes of Ilaoi who is able to 1v2 when someone does gank and just pick up a double kill so easily. So we'll probably see I Am Your Dead heading to that top lane, maybe Falk rotating as well very early on, trying to deny that Darius any kind of early game lead. But that being said, Roskilde have a lot of potential to carry, because you've got sometimes on the Darius, you've got Captain Terrible on the Vel'Koz, and of course you've got X-Perks on the Tristana. But then again, the same can go for Caeli, because Hunika can deal so much damage on that Silas, as can Falk on the Irelia, as well as Nick the Panda. Team fighting probably sitting on favor of Caeli, just because of the ult from the Amumu, so much global CC, followed by the Vanguard's Edge from Falk and Silas. Depending, Hunika, if he is able to steal that Vel'Koz ultimate, he can do a lot of damage, and this game will probably come down to how well can Hunika use the ults. Can he actually access that Vel'Koz ult, because that is probably going to be the most important ultimate for him. Darius does kind of counter Silas in terms of the ultimate, just because you can't get the stacks off. You can't get your stacks off hemorrhage coming through, so you don't get as much ultimate damage. So if Hunika does want something, he will need to get a different ult, even the Lee Sin ult, but it's just not that big for him, which is why I do like this Darius pickup from Roskilde, because I think that their top lane is just better now that they've had that counter pick. So I do really like this Roskilde lineup, but we're going to have to see how it goes, because I do think if Caeli can get team fights on their favor, they will be able to up, especially because of that Amumu ultimate, followed by the quickness from Rakan. We are in the loading screen, guys, so do get some hype in the chat. Who are you guys rooting for, Caeli or Roskilde, as we enter game 1 of this best of 3? And we can now see all the rune pickups. We've got 2 aftershocks coming through from Caeli on the side on Hunika and I Am Your Dead. Already going for a normal Conqueror, whereas Zaya picking up the lethal tempo over a press the attack. Choice. Experts taking press the attack. All kind of makes sense. Captain Terrible with the Arcane Comet, and Thompson actually going with Conqueror over something more more usual, let's say, something like a Dark Harvest or actually, what am I saying? Dark Harvest, not Dark Harvest, Electrocute. I haven't seen Conqueror Lee Sin before, but I guess it kind of works if you are looking to just be in that team fight, looking to deal damage over time rather than kind of be that assassin style of Lee Sin. And all members of Caeli are going to be heading over to this top side. Let's see if they can find something onto sometimes. Let's see if Gorange has started with the grand entrance and get that knock up. They get the CC off. The flash the flash engage from Gorange will miss its mark. They will not find sometimes who will burn the flash over into that Baron pit. So, not the worst of engages, because at least sometimes is down a summoner spell. It may be extremely important, that lack of flash, even for Gorange in the bot lane. But remember what we said, I Am Your Dead won't be focusing in that bot lane. He's going to be focusing around mid and top, whereas RR Thompson has more opportunity to gank in that bot lane. But again, he's probably going to be focusing on that mid and top lane as well. Everything thinning out now. And both junglers will be starting on their red buff, so no real surprises there yet. No real surprises yet. Let's take a quick look. First Drake will be an Ocean Drake, so fairly high. Well, not the highest of priorities, not quite an Infernal, but then again, it's not quite a Cloud Drake. So we will have to see which side will have priority on this, and it'll probably be Caeli, just because they've got this Zyra Khan in the bot lane. And actually, Falk is going in the top lane to play into that Darius, whereas Hunika has gone into the mid lane. And this is what we were talking about before, that sometimes counters the Sylas so well, and it makes sense that Falk has therefore gone into this top lane. So expect to see I Am Your Dead focusing a lot in this mid lane now, as we're gonna get a game pause, and it is for lag, and I think it's Hunika who's having a little bit of lag. However, in the top lane, Falk getting out-traded, or slightly out-traded, hasn't quite hit his level 2 yet, so sometimes has a very slight window to take advantage of this level discrepancy. If you take a look at Thompson, he's in his bot side jungle, so he could possibly be looking for a rotation over to that bot lane. Don't forget, now that Rift Scuttlers have been changed, you can no longer take them level 2. I know that's kind of a delayed mention to Rift Scuttlers, but there you go. You have to make your clears first, so you see a lot of your junglers will go for their Krugs, etc. first. Thompson just went straight for his Raptors, and then headed straight over to his, what are they called? Wolves. There you go. I got there eventually. But again, need to really focus on this bot lane, because now that Hunika is playing mid, it's much, much more volatile than what it would have been if Falk was there on the Aurelia. So I don't know if you can. It's something I've always thought that, and I was surprised that we haven't seen as much lane swapping. So I'm not sure if you are allowed to or not. I don't know. But I always thought so. So anyway, we are ready to get going again, and we'll take a look, see how this top lane pans out. Expect sometimes just try to bully it as much as you can. Darius is just so annoying in the top lane, almost as annoying as an Ilawi, but there you go. Oh, and Hunika actually has been poked out a fair bit in that mid lane, which may be somewhat due to this lag that has been mentioned. And Hunika has DC'd, so we are into another pause. So there you go, having some internet connections. Hopefully he can get that fixed, and then we will be back underway. Otherwise, we might be here for quite a while as Hunika looks to sort out his net. Okay, and Hunika has reconnected, so hopefully we can get these lag issues behind us and get going with this best of 3 between Caeli and Roskilde. Just going to take a quick note to I Am Your Dead. He is in that topside jungle around taking his blue buff. So we are going to have to... I mean, he could rotate to the top lane after this. Could pick up his top side Rift Scuttler. Why am I saying Rift Scuttler? Scuttle Crab. What's wrong with me? I don't know. So yeah, he can take his top side Scuttle Crab. Whereas Thompson should be able to get the bot river Scuttle Crab. So we are now resuming gameplay. And Falk with the Blade Surge looking to try to get off those little juicy trades, getting off those Conqueror stacks, or getting his Conqueror stacked up. And I Am Your Dead is now here in the top side. He's got both. He has got double buff. The Flawless Duet won't find its mark sometimes, as the Defiant Dance will find its mark, sometimes being brought quite low. There's a lot of damage coming through onto Falk, but it's not going to be enough. And First Blood will be going over to I Am Your Dead. And this is what we mentioned in Champ Select, that I Am Your Dead will be focusing on sometimes in that top lane, just because Darius is just that champion that you cannot allow to get ahead. And couple that with the fact that he didn't have Flash available due to that level 1 invade is so important. But now Thompson he has secured his Scuttle Crab, can now go for something in the bot lane, will land the Sonic Wave, followed by the Resonating Strike. Won't be able to get anything else off. No summoners burnt in that bot lane. There's just currently 1 kill to 0 in favor of Caeli, and it's sitting on I Am Your Dead as Captain Terrible gets off a favorable trade. But in the top lane, Amumu will find the bandage shots, will get the damage off. Sometimes a little bit low. Flawless Duet can't quite find its mark, so there will be no Blade Surge reset. But sometimes just getting poked down, and I Am Your Dead trying everything he can to make laning for this Darius as difficult as possible. Thompson gonna make his first back. Hunika getting poked out in that mid lane. Only level 4, which means Captain Terrible gonna hit 6 before Hunika. So that could spell disaster in the mid lane. So we're gonna have to watch out for Terrible hitting that 6. I don't think he's too far away from it. Maybe one more wave. But look how low Hunika is, and if the Plasma Fishes from Captain Terrible can find their mark, Hunika is going to have such a difficult time just wave clearing. And whenever you play Silas, you know that you're going to be slightly compromised in that early laning phase. So he has to wait just for him to scale up, get something like that Lich Bane or the Luden's Echo. But everything's starting to calm down. The first Drake of the game is available. And it is Roskilde who do have priority over that for the minute. They've got the vision around. They've got their bot lane pushed in more as Gorange. Just trying to poke as much as he can with the Gleaming Quill. But in the mid lane, Captain Terrible has just hit his 6. So let's see if he can get any damage off. Plasma Fission won't quite find its mark. Does have the cleanse available, which didn't really highlight that earlier on when we were discussing runes and spells, but the cleanse is going to be really important for when the Curse of the Sad Mum comes through. But sometimes might get caught out here. Bandage shots will come through. Doesn't have the Curse of the Sad Mummy just yet. Sometimes trying to dash away. Flawless Duet won't quite find its mark. Apprehend will bring Falk and I Am Your Dead towards him. There is no ultimate. The hemorrhage is coming through. I Am Your Dead will fall. Sometimes will pick up 1 kill, but he's looking really low now. The extended trade between Sometimes and Falk. Can Falk find his mark? He hit 6, but sometimes can't get the Noxian Guillotine off in time, and Falk will pick up the kill. Sometimes sitting now at 1 and 3. Falk 2-0 and 1, and sitting quite pretty as he will be building towards that Triforce straight away. I think sometimes we'll probably be going for the Black Cleaver pickup. Here we go. But look at this. Thompson looking to trying to find something around that red buff. Will decide against it and will just ward hop and use a blast cone to safety. No turrets have been taken just yet. Actually, one has just been taken in the top lane on Falk. Flawless Duet will land onto sometimes. Falk will now retreat to the top lane brush and begin his back. As Caeli might actually be looking for an early Drake. And no, Gorange is just going to put down a ward just to make sure that Thompson can't sneak it while they're getting pushed in. We'll have to take a look in the bot lane. Gorange getting off the grand entrance. We can't quite find its mark, but Nick the Panda and Gorange quite close to 6 now. So you will have to watch out for that massive engage as soon as that happens, because they are not far away at all as they begin pushing that wave in, and they might now go for a rotation to that mid lane. Will it get spotted out by that ward in the side brush, in the bot lane brush? So I am your dead once again babysitting this top lane, and Thompson, I think he knows that I am your dead is sitting there, but in the mid lane, Hunica going to be brought down by the plasma vision, but Thompson making his way up. He gets the ward hop. Vanguard's edge comes through. Can Falk find anything? No, he can't. The Nocturne Guillotine will find its mark. I'm your dead has no way of playing around this, and it's going to be a double kill going over to sometimes, and that's what we were saying. You have to be so careful when ganking a Darius, because he can turn it around so easily. And now they will be pushing in to that top turret, and we'll probably get I'd guess about 2 turret platings. They've got the demolish available. The first turret plate will fall instantly, and in fact Falk can only actually buy a couple of daggers, so he doesn't even have the item advantage, even though he was sitting 2-0-1, where sometimes 3-3-0 has a 300 gold bounty on his head and is already starting to that little bit big, which is exactly what Caeli didn't want to happen. But that being said, Thompson hasn't really had a presence in any of the other lanes, or not yet anyway, as Thompson was looking to find some gank in that top lane. Sometimes was just sitting in the furthermost top lane brush. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get the cheese off. It was a nice attempt, but sometimes you just got to buy that ticket. But in the bot lane, the grand entrance will come through. Can't quite find its mark once again. Both laners, all 4 bot laners are at level 6. So if Xbox does overextend that little bit, could be can be punished from the Gorange engage. Gorange sitting aggressively in the bot lane brush, looking for a potential engage. But against an Alistar, it's just so hard to get anything to really work off, just because he's got the disengage straight away. He's got the ultimate, which removes all of his disables instantly. That's just what makes Alistar so potent as a support. The quickness coming through. Can't quite find his mark onto Xbox, who use a rocket jump. The flash will come through, followed by the grand entrance. Hunica comes in. He gets the CC. Gorange has been knocked into the turret. The shield will not be enough. Hunica sitting really low. He'll find 1 kill. The turret will secure the 2nd kill. Sometimes has TP'd into the bot lane. Can Nick the Panda find the kill? He doesn't have Blade Call available, and sometimes will pick up the 2nd kill. Now sitting 4 and 3, but I am your dead looking to try to secure something onto Thompson. The curse of the sad mummy will come through, and it will be the kill secured. However, Thompson was able to sacrifice his life to secure that Rift Herald. It looks like we might have already had our lane swap. Yeah, it does look like Xbox and Jakobsen heading to that top lane now. Nick the Panda and Gorange still heading bot, but this is actually really good for Caeli, really good for Roskilde, because sometimes on that Darius can 1v2 the Rakan, and Nick the Panda, whereas Irelia is going to find it much harder against the Alistair and Tristana. But it's currently 5 kills to 6 in favor of Roskilde. Only a 600 gold advantage at the minute, so everything's still sitting fairly level. And the first Drake of the game has not yet been taken. Captain Terrible still has the disintegration ray available. As Rift Herald is going to be popped in that top lane. I Am Your Dead getting caught out. Vanguard's Edge comes through. Is there anything Falk can do about this? No, he can't. He's slightly caught out now. He can't quite find the damage onto Xbox, but he will be able to use the Blade Surge to safety. And the Rift Herald was actually destroyed in that, so it might have been a worthwhile sacrifice. Gorange is here. He gets off the dash. The quickness is coming through. He still has a grand entrance. He gets a 3-man knock-up. Gorange still pushing through, taking a lot of damage. Nick the Panda will get the Blade Caller through. Jakobsen will get CC as the Flawless Duet will CC down Jakobsen, and the kill will go over onto Falk, who will now try to turn this lane around. But sometimes in that bottom lane, can he secure first turret first? There is no answer from Caeli to this bot lane push. The TP actually will come through from Falk, so that is going to prevent the push from some time. Disintegration Ray comes through in the bot lane, and Hunica will fall. The Void, sorry, not the Void Rift, the Tectonic Disruption was enough to secure Hunica down for long enough for the Disintegration Ray to absolutely disintegrate him. But the top lane turret is going to be falling. Xbox can't seem to get the damage off as of yet. Thompson is here, though. He does have the Sonic Wave as the Grand Entrance will find its mark. Sonic Wave followed by the engage. The flash from Nick the Panda followed by the Blade Caller is not going to be enough, and it's going to be a double kill going over to Thompson as Caeli get that little bit too aggressive in the bot lane. It's now 3 men of Roskilde pushing in on the top lane as Falk looking to try to get damage off onto this mid lane turret. It's not going to be enough, and the first turret will be going over in that top lane to Roskilde. 10 kills to 6 and a hefty 3k gold lead now. The Apprehend coming through on I Am Your Dead in that mid lane. However, the Chilling Smite will allow I Am Your Dead just to be able to gain a bit of distance and to escape. We also forgot to mention that the first Drake of the game was taken by Caeli. Second Drake is going to be a Mounted Drake. That will be up in only 4 minutes, though. Sorry, that will be up in just under 4 minutes, as Hunica might be getting caught out. The Apprehend can't quite find its mark as Hunica uses the Abscond to safety. Right now, we're starting to see the teams group around mid, and if Jakobsen can land that headbutt pulverize, then there's going to be so much damage coming through from the Disintegration Ray of Captain Terrible. Plasma Fishing can't quite find its mark on Nick the Panda currently, but the mid wave just getting shoved in, and Nick the Panda does have enough wave clear to clear this out very quickly. And I Am Your Dead actually has the Hex Flash, using that over the Chicken Pet, the Rift Scuttle. What did I just say? Rift Scuttle? I did, didn't I? The Raptor Camp, I should say. Hunica trying to get off as much damage as he can with that Chain Lash. So currently we're just seeing a 4 in mid with 1 split pushing in the side lane, but of course sometimes is just going to have that better priority split pushing in the sideways, just because he is that further bit ahead. Already has the Triforce relative to Hunica's no items as of yet. Hunica only has the Mercury Treads, but that's not going to help him one bit against Sometime. Captain Terrible went over for the blue buff, but Thompson, I don't think, wanted to donate that over. Would have made sense to donate it, but maybe they just misplayed it ever so slightly. Sometimes going to head over now to the top lane, switching his focus. Remember, both outer turrets have been taken in that top lane. Thompson, will he try to find the Sonic Wave? We'll use the control ward to secure the ward, but in the mid lane, it looks like Caeli are going to be able to secure the outer turret. I'm Your Dead with a Hex Flash over the wall, looking for a potential pick onto Expert. Vanguard's Edge comes through, Sonic Wave, followed by the Resonating Strike. Captain Terrible is on the side. Can Falk find it? Yes, he can. It's currently a 1 for none as Nick the Panda trying to do damage in the backline, sometimes flashing forward. He gets the upper hand. Falk is dying. Xbox with a flash forward. He gets the ultimate off. Hunica uses the stolen Tristana ult to ult Xbox away. Gorange will be able to escape to safety, but it is a 1 kill for 2 in favor of Roskilde. And once again, Roskilde able to take a fight in their favor as too much resources were burnt trying to CC Captain Terrible down outside of the main fight. And well played by Roskilde to win the fight, as we're going to be seeing the Mountain Drake coming up in a minute. And Roskilde have secured that outer bot lane turret, so we'll have the priority for the Drake, but they are all just going to decide to back for now. They do have 40 seconds until Drake is up. And Darius now sitting at 5 and 3 is just going to be so big, and you just have to be so careful. Flawless duet. Falk looking to find the solo kill onto Captain Terrible. Will get hit by the plasma fission though, although the tectonic disruption just a little bit off its mark. We're now going to see contestation for the ocean, not for the ocean, for the Mountain Drake. Roskilde have a control ward in the pit. Captain Terrible is looking to rotate over, but with sometimes in that top lane split pushing, he does have the teleport available. Falk will have his up soon. Hunika's is already up as the flash ground entrance won't find this mark from Gorange, looking for that play. As Hunika trying to answer sometimes split push. Let's see if he can do anything sometimes. Can't quite find the apprehend, but regardless gets the damage off. However, around Drake we're going to have the engage. The disintegration ray will get off so much damage. It's not going to be enough though. It's a kill onto Captain Terrible. It's a kill onto Thompson. Sometimes has TP'd into as the headbutt pulverize will come through. The rocket jump over the wall. Can Falk find anything onto Expert? No, he can't. Almost find something, but Expert will find the kill. And it's going to be 2 kills for 2. But crucially, the Mountain Drake is going to be going over to the side of Roskilde unless Gorange can do anything about this. And it's yet another advantageous team fight in favor of Roskilde. Now sometimes just going to split push that side wave, and now that he's got that Mountain Drake, he's going to absolutely obliterate these turrets so much quicker, as will Expert. And don't forget, Baron has spawned just 30 seconds ago, so that is going to be a huge priority. And now, only one outer turret still standing for the side of both Caeli and Roskilde. Caeli's is in that mid lane, whereas Roskilde's is in that bot lane. Dr. Crab will be secured for Caeli, just giving them that little bit of Baron vision. But right now you have to think, what can Caeli do to try to get into this fight, to try to deal with sometimes, because the healing and just the pure damage that he is pulling off. He has got that Sterix gauge now, whereas Falk looking for the Titanic Hydra with that Tiamat and Jorim's Fist. Gargoyle Stoneplate has been purchased from I Am Your Dead. Plasma Fission won't quite hit Gorange. And Roskilde sending all 5 members of their team into this mid lane. Don't forget, Falcon and Hunica still have TP, so can answer any possible Baron attempt, as Hunica looking to try to actually get this final outer turret. But Caeli aren't quite biting the bait yet. they have got the Scarlet Crab, and they can see when the Baron will actually be started. But right now, Roskilde are going to go all in for this outer turret. Sometimes can't quite find the apprehend, whereas Hunica in that bot lane has secured the bot lane turret. So all outer turrets have now been taken. Don't forget, still sitting at 14 kills to 9. Only a 1k gold lead in favor of Roskilde. So Caeli have closed that gap up a little bit. It was sitting at about 3k before. Sometimes gonna head into that bot lane. Can he find anything potentially onto Hunica? He's not gonna go for anything just yet. Has the flash available though. Hunica finally has got his first item. This is the Hextech Proto Belt. For a second lost chapter, that will most likely be going towards a Luden's Echo. We'll be having another Ocean Drake up in just over 2 minutes as well. But something I do want to highlight is the discrepancy in ADC builds, because Nick the Panda going with that Essence Reaver, which makes sense on an ADC that uses as much abilities as Xayah does, whereas Expert has the raw damage of that Infinity Edge. As in the top lane, Falk looking for something onto Thompson will have to back off though, as in the mid lane, the Tectonic Disruption will find its mark onto Nick the Panda and go around and force them to back. Falk still split pushing in that top wave. Sometimes going back and don't. You do have to respect from Caeli the fact that they can rotate much quicker due to the fact that they've got 2 TPs compared to Roskilde's 1. Of course, Captain Terrible taking that cleanse, which of course does make sense. Garange looking for the grand entrance onto Thompson, not able to find it though. As the apprehend will come through in the bot lane onto Hunica, and we're going to be getting a 1-for-1 trade. Can sometimes find anything. The ultimate will come through. That's going to be enough. Hunica will not be able to escape. Sometimes the flawless duet won't quite find its mark, as the flawless duet will. Sometimes can he find anything else? Does still have that ult reset, and he won't quite find the kill and will get shut down. So he didn't have the ult reset. He used the ult before he secured the kill, and a good return trade from Falk to pick up that shutdown gold. But right now, Roskilde looking at Baron. They're going to try to blow this up as quickly as possible. They do have one Mountain Drake. However, it is a 3v4 because Falk is on the bot side of the map. Hunica is up in 5 seconds and can TP. The engage comes through. The bandage toss. The I Am Your Dead not able to secure the Baron. TP's coming through. Quickness will find 2 CCs. Jakobsen's really low. I Am Your Dead can't quite find his man with the bandage toss. Redemption coming through. Will it secure the kill? Yes, it will, as Jakobsen will fall. But that's still going to be 4 members of Roskilde with this Baron buff. Sorry, 3 members with this Baron buff. Sometimes just respawn just after the Baron was taken. Once again, the goal starting to even out again. Less than 1k goal separating, although 15 kills to 11 kills in favor of Roskilde. But 2 Ocean Drakes on the side of Caeli, which will give them a lot of mana regen, which is going to be really useful for the likes of Hunica, Nick the Panda, Garant, and even Falk. So it is quite nice, those two Oceans. Jakobsen going to bind his 2 Thompson, which, I mean, you can keep on resetting your Zeeks, which is one of the good things. But in the bot lane, Falk will be apprehended. However, this is turning into a 1v3. What can sometimes do? He has the Nocturne Guillotine available. Can he find his mark onto Falk? He will use the ult. He will secure the kill. That is a lot of healing coming through. I'm Your Dead has nowhere to go. It's going to be a second kill. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Thompson with the ultimate followed by the Sonic Wave Resonating Strike will find one kill. Nick the Panda with the ultimate. Somehow he'll secure the kill. Somehow he avoids the disintegration ray. But sometimes finding the double kill in the bot lane. Meanwhile, Roskilde clearing things up in the top lane. There was a 1-for-1 Xbox for Gorant, and they will break the base open, taking the first inhibitor turret. They're going to make their way onto the inhibitor. There is nothing Nick the Panda can do. As Nick the Panda, somehow he's going to be able to escape using, as actually Thompson will somehow find the kill with a clutch Sonic Wave, and just when you thought Nick the Panda was going to be able to turn that around, as now back in the bot lane, this is turning into a bit of a clown fiesta. Sometimes can he do anything? He's looking low. The Noxian guillotine from Hunica will come through. Stopwatch will buy Hunica a bit of time, but sometime with the upper head will secure the kill, and sometime now sitting at 10-4. 20 kills to 12 and a 3.5k goal lead in favor of Roskilde with one inhibitor turret to their name. Don't forget, next Drake is going to be a mountain, so if Roskilde can get that, they will be obliterating any Baron that comes their way. Don't forget, they still have 3 members. That is Captain Terrible, Thompson, and Jakobsen, who still have the Baron buff. So they can still be pushing this in. And that's exactly what they're going to do. They're sending 4 men mid. And Darius sometimes will be split pushing in that bot lane. Sometimes does not have the Baron buff, though, which is the only thing that is really in favor of Caeli right now, giving them this kind of stay of execution, as it were. As Xbox has hit his third crit item, as Gorange might be getting caught out, uses a grand entrance to safety. Thompson has got the GA as well, so it just allows him to frontline that little bit more. As actually sometimes has a GA as well, and that's even scarier. Has got 4 items plus boots compared to Falk's 3 items and boots. So Darius is just absolutely massive right now. And this Hunica just can't do anything against sometimes right now. Sometimes just pushing this in the side lane, but we're going to get the quickness coming through. Gorange trying to get as much damage as he can do. Curse of the Sad Mummy will come through. Resonating Strike will secure a kill for Thompson. Jakobsen will fall. Falk trying to get off the damage. He will be able to pick up the kill onto Captain Terrible, but Xperts and Thompson falling back. Flawless Duet will secure another kill as a Resonating Strike from Thompson, followed by the Safeguard, will allow Thompson to survive. But there is no answer to sometimes right now, as Thompson is just going to stop the backs. No, he's not. He's just going to let them back. But there is nothing that Caeli can do, as sometimes will take the second inhibitor. And that is the Caeli base absolutely ripped open. Only that mid lane, only the mid lane turrets still standing, as we're going to be getting an Infernal Drake coming, not an Infernal Drake, a Mountain Drake coming up. And that is most certainly going to be going over to Thompson, as it looks like sometimes looking to try to pick someone out as they make their way to the Drake. And I'm Your Dead on his way. Falk might be getting caught out. Flawless Duet finds it smart onto Thompson. Vanguard's Edge comes through, will allow Falk to get another reset on the Blade Surge, and will allow him to escape to safety, as Thompson forced to burn the Flash. But right now, you've got Hunica, who has to deal with the super minions in the top wave, as the bot wave super minions are just pushing on their own. And surely Roskilde only just have to wait a little bit before they are able just to go straight in onto this Mountain Drake. And in fact, Baron's going to be up. It has just spawned, so there are 2 objectives available for Roskilde at the minute, and surely they will just go on to this Mountain Drake. But they are giving Caeli a lot of respect at the minute. Sometimes looking to make a back. He has got 2,000 gold at the minute, so could possibly go for something like a Black Cleaver. However, he has gone for that Triforce first item. As now Roskilde will start on the Drake. Sometimes will burn the blast code, and Roskilde will secure the Mountain Drake. As they look to just push in the mid wave and now head over to Baron, probably just going to secure vision first rather than actually go for a Baron play just yet. Again, the bot wave super minions are pushing their way in, so when that does happen, they can then go for this play on Baron. The top lane inhibitor will be coming up in a second as Esport gets his red buff. Oh, sometimes will get the apprehend coming through. The quickness comes through from Garanti, but Garanti gets absolutely blown to shred. Vanguard's edge coming through from Falk. Can Falk get anything off? He uses the Serenity gauge to come through. Falk forced to burn the stopwatch. Disintegration rate can't quite find his mark onto Falk, but the damage over time will. I Am Your Dead gets hit by the tectonic disruption. It's 4 kills for none. It's only Hunica left. Hunica, can he go anywhere? Headbutt pulverize will be up soon. Thompson can't quite find any play with the Sonic Wave. And in fact, I think Roskilde will look to just push in this mid wave right here, right now. They can go for the end. Sometimes pushing in on the bot wave. Is there anything that they can do? The apprehend won't find its mark onto Hunica. The second Nexus turret will fall, and the Nexus is surely gone as Roskilde will take game 1 against Caeli. And a well-played win from Roskilde. After about 4 minutes, they looked in complete control of the game. I'm Your Dead focusing so many resources onto that top lane, but it just was not enough in the end, as Sometime came so big and was able to carry that game. Was just so massive. 4 items and boots, and it was just an absolutely there's just nothing that Caeli could really do against the Darius in that top lane. But that has been game 1. So guys, we're going to be taking a quick break before we start with game 2. So don't go anywhere. We will see you in just a short bit for game 2 between Caeli and Roskilde. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to this best of three between Caeli and Roskilde Esports. Roskilde took game one fairly comfortably, and I think we can safely say that Caeli will be banning Darius as soon as they can. You can kind of understand why the Fuhrer was banned out, but expect a bit more focus onto sometimes, as he was clearly absolutely massive for Roskilde in those games. In that game, in game one. So expect to see the Darius being banned out, expect to see the Fiora being banned away again, and maybe even something like a Jace as well. He has played the Hecarim, so the Hecarim will probably be banned as well. So expect the first three bans just to be entirely focused onto sometimes. Although we did see in game one, a lot of emphasis was put onto the jungler Thompson. The Rek'Sai was banned away from him. And the Hecarim was banned as well, although that could have been looking at either Thompson or sometimes in that top lane. We might be seeing the Kled being banned away as well. Camille did get banned last time out. But it looks like we are pretty much ready to go. And we're going to have to see how game 2 goes and how Caeli plan on answering the threats that Roskilde, and more importantly, sometimes is offering. The threat that he poses, sorry. The threat that he poses. Of course, we're going to have to see, but expect the cannon to be banned away once again from Hunika. He might go for maybe a Silas again. I don't think the Silas worked out too well, although it was into the Vel'Koz rather than in that top lane. We might be seeing the Irelia again. Balk can play it fairly comfortably, so that might be picked up. Right, and it looks like we are ready to go, so we will be heading into picks and bans. So let's see if the cannon will be banned instantaneously once again, or whether Roskilde feel that there was another champion that was picked up, maybe the Xayah or Rakan, that was more of an issue. And it's going to be Morgana banned away first, which kind of suggests that they want to be playing something like a Leona, or maybe something like an Alistar or Thresh in that bot lane. But Darius going to be banned out away from sometimes straight away, which is what we expected after that very, very strong performance from sometimes in game 1. But the cannon going to be banned away from Hunika, and no real surprises there. We were fully anticipating that ban. You're going to be banned away, yet another ban being focused at sometimes, and that's one of the good things when you have a team where one person is just so important. All the bans get focused on him, which allows everyone else on your team just to play what they actually enjoy, as the Kai'Sa going to be banned away once again from Nick the Panda. As the final ban will be against Vel'Koz, so clearly Caeli did not like Captain Terrible on Vel'Koz, as Lucian's going to be picked up, so I think this might force Caeli to take a Braum just to prevent the Lucian Braum bot lane. Even a Lucian Leona is entirely possible, and that kind of explains why the Morgana was banned. That also explains why the Kai'Sa was banned, because anyone who knows me and my casting knows that whenever there's a Lucian and a Kai'Sa will always win. So they clearly knew about that, and they banned the Kai'Sa away just to be safe. So, well done to you guys, Roskilde. You have done your research. As Braum was hovered, but it looks like they're going to pick jungle first, and it's looking like a Jarvan pickup here. Expect the next one to be Braum. And wait, for some reason it's timed out. Okay. But yeah, expect it to be a Braum, and then we could probably see Roskilde going for something like a Leona to pair up with that Lucian, or an Alistar. Leona or Alistair right now would work really well with the Lucian in that bot lane. So we're going to have to see what they do, because if they don't pick it in this phase, it will be banned out. Roskilde will be banning the... will either be picking the Leona or Alistair or be banning it out. So I do think that they have to pick it now with one of these two picks. That being said, I think that Roskilde can just play this with maybe a Sivir and Braum in the bot lane. Just scale up. Maybe Sivir, maybe go for something like a Vayne, even the Xayah, as the Alistair will be locked in. What did I say, guys? What did I say? But yeah. Sejuani picked up just to play against the Jarvan, nice and safe. Looking for the potential engages. Looking just to have a bigger impact in those team fights. Of course, Jarvan is strong with the Cataclysm. But then again, so is Sejuani with the Glacial Prism. As the Sivir's being picked up. I'm pretty sure. Just call me in. Just call me in for picks and bans. I clearly know my drafting now. I have hit the pro level of drafting. I know what they're gonna do before they do it. It's next level. But we are entering our second phase of picks and bans. Camille's going to be banned. And yeah, just focusing now on sometimes with those top lane bans. The Camille coming through. Expect maybe to be seeing something like a... I want to say a Gnar ban. But I don't think sometimes really plays Gnar. So expect maybe a Kled banned away. As a Poppy going to be banned away from Hunica. So just stopping that kind of safe Poppy pick. Not allowing him just to be able to get away with anything. And the final ban will be going to Vladimir. So once again, focusing on sometimes. And I really hope sometimes does pick a Kled or something early. I want to see Roskilde take some early game picks to work with the Lucian and just try to steamroll this 25. As a final ban will be against Urgot. So when we think about what's available, you could see potentially an Aatrox, potentially a Sion, as the Caeli is going to be picked up by Hunica. We know he can play that, as it's going to be a Xerath. So very, very, very similar playstyle to the Vel'Koz for Captain Terrible. And it's not actually that surprising considering that he plays Vel'Koz, as it looks like they might switch over to the Victor. Now that Victor could be going in the top lane on sometimes. So we'll see with this pick, as it is going to be an Aatrox being picked up. So I'm still going to say that it can be flexed around. It could be either the Aatrox going top or mid, as it might be a Jax. Okay, Yorick is dirty. I do like the Yorick pickup. Sometimes it's just going to be able to do so much more split pushing, more than what you could do last time. As Gorange once again playing with my heartstrings, showing me the Leona, showing me what could have been, but it will not be taken. Most certainly will not be taken. Caeli will not be locking in Leona. Orange can hover it for as long as he wants. There we go. That's something more sensible. It's going to be a Riven going top. So the Akali was literally just a flex pick. It was just saying, here's our pick. What do you want to play into Akali? Okay, we're going to be putting Akali mid, and the Akali will be playing into a Victor. Victor does get played top, so it's a perfectly fine matchup in that mid lane. And Falk will be playing the Riven in the top lane against Yorick. They will be lane swapping once again. That is almost certain, unless Falk's essentially thinking this. Unless Falk thinks, okay, I'm going to try to beat up Captain Terrible as hard as sometimes try to beat up Hunica. So that's a possibility of what they could be trying to do. So we're going to have to see how this pans out now. Although I'm getting reports that the stream may not be working. So if you can hear me, do let us know. If you are able to see the stream and it is all working, let us know, so we don't have mini panic attacks and heart attacks that nothing's working, while in fact it's all perfectly fine. Okay, so apparently everything is working fine. Great. So anyway, we have entered the spectator delay, which means that we can now comment on some of the spells and all of that kind of stuff. Of course, you've got both Sometimes and Captain Terrible taking that TP. Same is said for Falk and Hunica. Ignite from both supports and everything. All the summon spells are dead even. How boring. How boring. So we'll have to see how this pans out. But once again, I'm really looking forward to seeing how everything develops in that top lane. Sometimes into either Hunica or Falk. I still believe it's going to be Falk playing the Riven in that top lane. Hunica will be going mid once again. And I think that's just because Hunica can't quite play Riven as well as he can play a Caeli. So that's why it's not Hunica on the Riven. And it's Falk likes his top laner, so just going to see how that develops. Don't forget, Hunica is on the Akali. So Akali is just one of those champions that is that little bit weak in the early game, but can snowball really well if resources are put into it. So expect to see I Am Your Dead turning up in that mid lane quite a few times. Although ganking a Victor is easier said than done, let's say. Same can be said in that bot lane. Going to be a little bit difficult to gank. So most likely we're going to be seeing I'm Your Dead focusing on that top lane, trying to once again get Falk ahead and put Sometimes behind. Whereas if you are Thompson, you'll probably be focusing on Hunica in that mid lane, trying to make sure you can't get ahead or be able to snowball at all. But we have 15 seconds and then we will be entering into the loading screen. So guys, once again, get some hype into the chat. What are you guys looking for? Are you looking for that Roskilde clean sweep, or is your money more on Caeli taking this to a game 3? But yeah, we're going to have to watch out for this bot lane, because while Sometimes it's going to be absolutely massive on Yorick, just because Yorick is that kind of champion that can just do so much, even if they are stupidly far behind, just because of getting the Triforce and the split pushing potential. Sivir will scale up and completely outscale Lucian. So we do really have to watch this and see how it will develop. But it's going to be interesting to see the developments in the bot lane and whether Nick the Panda on that Sivir in the late game can answer the Sometimes split push, because of course Sivir is so good at just wave clearing, which is going to be really important. Going to be really important to deal with that split push from Sometimes. But we have entered a pause. Apparently Gorange having a couple of issues loading up game. And apparently our stream is fine. Right, and we are ready as Gorange has reconnected into the game. So let's get game 2 between Caeli and Roskilde for this battle for 5th place in Division 3 of Serenity Gaming underway. Taking a quick look at some item pickups. Hunica has already purchased that Doran's shield. Sometimes hasn't got anything yet. Let's see if he goes for a Doran's blade. No, he's going to go for Corruption Potion. Just going to quickly go over runes. Everything is normal. You've got the Conqueror coming through from some... Wait. Why do we have a Conqueror Sejuani? Why do we have a Conqueror Sejuani? Why do we have a Conqueror Sejuani? As Caeli will send all their men, all their players, down the mid lane. I'm not sure what the purpose of that was. They were never going to catch anyone out like that. As we are going to have an engage, so... Oh, Jakobsen might be getting completely caught out. The CC will be coming through. Ignite comes through as well. Can they get the damage? The flag won't be able to deal enough damage. And first blood will be going over to Nick the Panda. There we go. So, again, once again, it's first blood over to the side of Caeli. But this time it's not on Falk, who, yes, Falk is going in that top lane, playing into sometimes... So let's see. I am interested to see how this mid lane goes because I think it is very volatile. But guys, it's a Conqueror Sejuani. Both junglers going to start with their bot side jungle, and I think that's just so that they can allow Falk to just get that first wave. So sometimes hasn't completely pushed that wave in, which kind of makes sense. But first kill on for Nick the Panda, and he has picked up that dagger with that 300 bonus gold. We're gonna have to see where the junglers really focus their priority. Thompson, of course, taking that little bit longer time than I Am Your Dead just to clear out his waves. Level 2 has already been secured by the bot lane of Roskilde. Let's see if Jakobsen will go for anything aggressive. But no, Nick the Panda will get that level 2 with the Boomerang Blade. Of course, the interesting thing with this bot lane is both laners have to be so careful with their mana. As it's... Actually, we've already got a kill. I completely missed that as Falk. Great rotation by Caeli to pick up Thompson on his way to that blue buff. So 2-0 currently in favor of Caeli. And I'm sure I'm Your Dead will be trying to rotate over to this top side as soon as possible. That is if sometimes pushes the wave out. But yeah, as I was saying, in the bot lane, both ADCs have to be that little bit careful because they are really mana hungry. So expect to see that SRG coming out really quickly from Nick the Panda and possibly from X-Perks as well, as we're going to be getting the headbutt pulverized. 2-man knock up. Nick the Panda being brought quite low, uses the spell shield, but X-Perks will pick up the kill onto Gorange. And that's exactly what they needed to do, as Caeli just getting that little bit too aggressive in that bot lane, just not respecting the Jakobsen's engage. But Falk very low in that top lane and sometimes might be looking for a potential engage. However, the flag and drag available on I Am Your Dead. He's not sitting on a wood at all, but this is a big wave that's going to be pushing in. I Am Your Dead being very, very patient at the minute. Going to have to go in now, as sometimes making his way over. Uses the flag and drag to safety to avoid the damage from Yorik's minions, so I like to call them. But Nick the Panda quite low on mana, trying to push this final wave in before he backs. Also in the mid lane, Hunika getting poked down by Captain Terrible. Hunika just going to try to see if he has a CS advantage at the minute. And we're going to see if Falk can actually deal with these pushes from sometimes. Once again, Hunika sitting that little bit low in the mid lane as Captain Terrible just trying to freeze this wave out as much as he possibly can. Oh, Hunika getting brought quite low in that mid lane. Again, struggling to find any real counterplay onto Victor, which again is what we expected. Would get bullied in that early phase, but if they can get a couple of kills onto Hunica, he will be able to snowball really, really well. Hunica just getting poked out so much under turret now as well. Captain Terrible just looking for that empowered auto from the Siphon Power. So easy to get off so much damage using that, which is why Victor AEPC was a thing last season. I'm Your Dead being spotted out by the control ward in the pixel brush. We'll secure that. Back off. Falk has got his Caulfield Warhammer from his first back. Hasn't used the TP yet. Sometimes will be picking up the Sheen. Not going to be teleporting. So both of them just going to walk to lane, saving that TP for something more important, whether that may be a Drake play or something else. As right now, Caeli looking to make their way over to yet another first Ocean Drake. Grunge going to head straight over, and I don't think Xbox and Jakobsen will really be able to answer this just yet. Asunika going to TP back to mid lane, has picked up that Vampiric Scepter, but you really have to wait for him to get his first item. Of course, the Hextech Revolver, which will upgrade into I can't remember the name, but the other Hextech item. But everything's starting to look that little bit quieter. Don't forget, Xbox has a long window to try to get ahead on the Lucian, but we're going to have a fight around the red buff pit. Thompson was able to steal the red buff, will use a blast cone to safety. Sorry, not steal it. It was I'm Your Dead looking for the invade in the jungle. But not quite able to find it. Flag and Drag comes through, but the flash from Thompson is very, very quick to avoid any potential engage. Cataclysm was available for the Jarvan. Express getting poked down a little bit by that Boomerang Blade. As Falk going in for the engage onto sometimes and immediately backs out using the Broken Wings. And the Blade of the Exile is going to come through. It's a lot of damage. Can he get off the damage? And Falk is going to get absolutely bursted down. Flash coming through from sometime. Falk down to under 100 HP. Will use the E. Can he get away? As he tried to turn this around, sometimes can't quite find the players. Hunica will pick up a kill with the ultimate. The perfect execution was pretty perfect, but I Am Your Dead almost dying, but he will escape, but will fall in the end. Glacial Prism misses its mark, but he's got nothing to answer the Arctic Assault and the Winter's Wrath, and it's going to be 2 kills for 1 in favor of Roskilde. 3 kills to 3 and a 300 gold advantage to Caeli at the minute. Captain Terrible lower man, and Hunica using the Shadow, what am I saying? The Twilight Shroud, just to get off a bit of damage, but he does take 1 turret shot, which will bring him that little bit low. However, Falk is sitting in this side bush. Is going to TP into the bot lane. Can they get the damage off? The ultimate comes through from Nick the Panda. Jakobsen uses his ultimate. However, the ultimate from Braum will get off some damage. 1 turret shot comes through. It forces the heal to come through from Nick the Panda. And it's going to be no kills coming through. But both heals will be burnt by the bot lane, as have both ignites. That was a good TP from Falk, but just not able to quite find anything. As Falk makes his way up to that mid lane. Nick the Panda looking to try to get a turret plate or 2. Able to get the damage off using the Boomerang Blade. And this is just the power of Sivir, just able to shove in these waves, but Falk might be getting caught out. Gets hit by the gravity field. Thompson's here. Got the Winter's Wrath and the Arctic Assault. Can Falk do anything? He gets CC down. Siphon power comes through. Falk looking to find some way around this. He will find the kill in the 1v2 against Thompson. And it's a good kill from Falk. Captain Terrible just didn't have any of his sums up to really try to make the play. Actually, he had his ult available. I'm not sure why he just didn't ult there. So, confusing stuff from Terrible. He hadn't used his ult yet. I don't think he's used his ult this game. Maybe he has. Maybe he hasn't. I've just missed it. Or maybe it just came back onto cooldown. However, we will be having our second Drake coming up in under a minute, and it will be that very, very important Infernal Drake. So we should hopefully be seeing a lot of contention around this. Both top laners have their TPs down. Captain Terrible has his TP available while Hunica doesn't. So the priority is slightly in favor of Roskilde. Headbutt Pulverize comes through onto Nick the Panda. Can they get the CC off? Yes, they can. Spell Shield will come through, which will deny a little bit. The Flash will come through from Nick the Panda. Glacial Prison is available, but they do not need to use it. And a good engage by Jakobsen to burn the Flash from Nick the Panda. Thompson looking to possibly make a re-engage. However, I Am Your Dead sitting in the side brush. We could see a proper 3v3 skirmish here, as Hunica might be making his way down as well. Meanwhile, in the top lane, sometimes really winning this top lane 20 CS up on his counterpart, Falk. As in the mid lane now, Hunica looking to get a trade onto Captain Terrible, will be able to use it and use the Shuriken flip just to escape, but he is sitting at about half HP now. As Roskilde looking to take priority over this Infernal Drake, and they will start it up now. And there's nothing that Caeli can really do about this. It's going to be a lot of damage, which is going to be pretty big for the likes of Experts and Captain Terrible. And Roskilde will secure the Infernal Drake. Next Drake will be that Infernal in just under 5 minutes. Can Hunica, just trying to clear out some vision, can he possibly get anything off onto Captain Terrible? Again, sitting that little bit low. Hunica's just going to struggle that little bit to CS again. There's just so much damage, so much poke coming through from the Siphon Power, that Q of Captain Terrible. Alright, but here you've got the engage. Hunica with the Shuriken flip has a perfect execution available. Will dash in, and the Shuriken and the perfect execution can't quite find its mark. Will force Captain Terrible to back though, but no real victory out of that except for securing his flash. Also, just want to highlight this bot lane because once again there's a Lucian that I'm casting on who has lost lane. Both ADCs 1, 0 and 0, and Nick the Panda has more CS than Expert, which is not what should be happening if you are playing the Lucian. So it's been a good job from Nick the Panda and Gorange so far. Remember, the kill that they got was that first blood, but the bot lane is even, which means that this game is currently sitting in the favor of Caeli. The Xbox will be able to won't be able to get any turret plating because we are past 40 minutes, which means the turret plates have fallen. Who will push out this wave. No turrets have been taken yet. 15 minutes into this game, and things are really starting to settle down. We missed I Am Your Dead securing the Rift Herald, so he does have that available to him. So could possibly use that after making a gank either on the mid or the top lane as Hunica not quite going to get caught out by the gravity field. You're dead, hoping that there is an engage and he can use a flag and drag. Flag and drag comes through, followed by the ultimate. Captain Terrible being brought really low, and it will be the kill secured by I Am Your Dead. Expert's going to try to poke out Gorant as much as possible. Glacial Prison will come through, will not be, just not quite in range, and Gorant will be able to survive. Rift Herald has been popped in that mid lane. They will secure the first turret, outer turret. However, we might be getting an engage in the bot lane. Thompson and Xbox trying their best to push in the wave, as now the Rift Herald makes its way onto the inner turret in the mid lane. Possibly a second turret secured. Now, Falk does have TP because sometimes is roaming down to this mid lane, and there may be a big collapse. Can Hunica escape? He dodges the spell. He's got the Shuriken flip available. Will use that to buy a bit of time. Headbutt Pulverize will come through onto I'm Your Dead. I'm Your Dead uses the flag and drag to safety. Hunica looking to turn this around on to Jakobsen. Meanwhile, Falk is here. He does have the ultimate available, Blade of the XR, but the flag and drag coming through from I'm Your Dead just to poke that a little bit more. And it's just going to be one kill going over to the side of Caeli, who are now sitting 6-3 and have almost a 4k gold advantage. So really good stuff so far from Caeli, as now Nick the Panda looking to try to get some damage off, and they're going to rotate over to this mid lane bot lane turret as the Falcon comes over the wall, gets the CC off onto Thompson, another CC onto Expert, and Nick the Panda will secure the kill. And Caeli are really starting to turn this game around. The Infinity Edge is absolutely massive for Nick the Panda. And here comes the damage onto the inner turret. The CC coming through onto Thompson. Falk uses the E to safety, gets that shield off as well, but the inner turret down to half HP. The Infernal Drake will be up in 30 seconds, so that's just enough time for Caeli to back and rotate back to that Infernal. Hunica has been placed in that top lane, does have the TP available, which is why he is there, and will be trying to push that wave in. And there is no answer to Hunica at the minute. As I say that, sometimes making his way over to that top lane, which has to be done, but Hunica now moving over to the bot side of the map. As Falk has disconnected, so we should be seeing a pause coming through now. Yep, there we go. As having some connection issues, clearly. And Falk has reconnected, so hopefully we will be able to get going just a second or two. But this game really starting to snowball in the favor of Caeli, and that's just entirely because of this Lucian pick. It's just not quite working out at the minute. Not able to have, it's just not having that early game presence that it should. And Sivir will be getting bigger and bigger and bigger compared to Lucian as this game progresses. As we wait for Nick the Panda to build his first ZL item, and then probably going to go for something like that Essence Reaver, maybe build towards 100% crit, or grab a Mercurial or a Bloodthirster. But we have resumed games, so we are underway once again. Now, sometimes is in that top lane, does have TP available, so it is perfectly fine because he can rotate for these fights. But Caeli have dragged the Drake out and will be securing this. I don't think there's much that they can do. However, sometimes will be securing this turret in the top lane. Hunica can TP to defend it if he wants, but he's going to decide against it. Sometimes we'll be able to secure this. Yes, of course he can. He is Yorick. And we have got another pause as Falk is still experiencing some issues with his connection. But again, going to go back to Nick the Panda because he is going to be absolutely massive. Currently sitting 2-0. But then again, don't discount as well I Am Your Dead and Hunica, who both doing very well, 2-1-3 and 1-0-3 respectively. And I think this might come down once again to sometimes just how big can he be in this side lane. The key thing is, though, is a completely different scenario to Game 1. Because in Game 1, he was on the Darius. He was ahead. He was able to dominate that lane. Whereas this time, he's ahead on CS. He has the Triforce. But the question is, can he be that massive hoover in the side lane and just completely push the side lanes to absolute Narnia? Next Drake is going to be that Mountain Drake. Going to be up in just under 5 minutes. Don't forget, 5 minutes between each Drake. And it's just a shame for Caeli that they weren't able to get the first Infernal. Otherwise, they would be looking so much bigger right now. But because it's one Infernal apiece, it's just leveled things up. Hunica gonna clear up those kitten minions of Yorick. Remember that change to Yorick because before his ultimate, the Maiden would not follow him. It would stay in that side lane and just push, which used to be so big and what allowed him to split push really well. But with this change, it means that he has to be in that lane to push, which just means that his split pushing has been nerfed ever so slightly, but it is still pretty big. So sometimes going to head over to the top lane. Let's see if Hunica will decide to take this fight on. Being a little bit aggressive, but Hunica does have the advantage of the way. Hunica will get caught in the pit of sometimes and is brought really low, getting brought down really low from these minions as the Arctic Assault followed by the Glacial Prison can't quite find its mark on to Hunica, so that's a wasted ult from Thompson. But in the bot lane, Falk just trying to continue split pushing. Sensibly split pushing as well. Sometimes just staying in this push. Got the control ward in there, knows that he has knows that he can engage. It's going to turn here. Uses the control ward, but will get spotted out beforehand.
The Isles remember.
As Nick the Panda just going to try to push in this wave as much as possible. I Am Your Dead is here, but so is Thompson. The Arctic Assault will come through. Forces the flash, but the CC from the Permafrost is coming through. The Glacial Fissure will try to find something. How much damage can Nick the Panda do? He's really low. Forced to burn the heal. He'll find one kill. Captain Terrible is here. He has the Siphon power available, but it's just going to be a 1-for-1 in that top lane. Traded between I Am Your Dead and Sometimes. But the bounty will be going over on to Sometimes, so still a decent trade for Roskilde, but the longer this game goes on, you have to feel that it's falling more and more into the favor of Caeli.
Not so fast.
Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Falk just pushing in these waves.
Light 'em up.
Yakazim trying to come up with an answer, but Caeli going to secure the third and final outer turret in the top lane. And just look how quickly Nick the Panda is able to push the waves in. Thompson trying, just zoning Hunica away from that ward. Saying, no, that's our ward. You stay away from it. But 1 minute until the Mountain Drake is up. And that could be really good for Roskilde as they are making this pushing attempt. Whereas it's really good for Caeli with this pushing attempt that they're doing. Whereas if Roskilde get it, it's going to be so important for Sometimes. So it's far more... Caeli really need to ensure that Roskilde don't get it, essentially. Because it's going to be very, very big on Sometimes. There's a very important Drake that they do have to put a lot of focus on, I feel. And that being said, Caeli have complete control around the objective. And they're just warding around the entire bot side jungle of Roskilde, making sure there is no way for Roskilde to get near without them being spotted. Giving them the ability just to catch them out, as Falk will secure the second inner turret in that bot lane. And Drake is going to be up in 18 seconds. But you do have to respect sometimes because he has the TP and he is pushing in that top lane. However, Hunika has gone to answer the split push. And the Drake is flying down from wherever Drakes are made. Maybe Stalks bring them. Maybe they carry to the rift by Stalks. But the Mountain Drake will be started. And we could possibly even be seeing a fairly quick rotation to Baron as well. We are 24 minutes in, and Nick the Panda has got his third item, which quite cleverly is a Last Whisper. So a lot of damage will be coming through. So a lot more armor pen against the likes of Jakobsen, Thompson, and sometimes. To be fair, I think he should have gone for the Executioner's Culling one, the Mortal Reminder, just because of the amount of healing that sometimes has, as does Victor and Expert. So I think it could have been a bit more sensible, but that being said, at least he's picked up the item. Whereas Experts only has his two items, only has that Essence Reaver and the Balk. So Nick the Panda is just so much further ahead, currently sitting 3-0. But it looks like the Baron's going to be started. 4 members Falk there as well, and look at the Mountain Drake doing its work. Roskilde have no idea that Baron is being taken, and there is going to be a pause. And I wonder what it is this time. Okay, so apparently Roskilde just having some headset issues, but with this Baron being taken, Caeli are just going to be able to push this in pretty damn hard. And of course, you do have to respect Falk. Currently sitting 2-1-2, has a Death Dance, has a Black Cleaver, will be able to do a lot in pushing the side waves. Or perhaps they might just go for a 5-man mid, just to stop sometimes from being able to do anything in the side lane, forcing him to join the fight. Because we all know how big sometimes is, and especially on something like a Yorick where he's in that side lane, and he'd just be able to do so much work. But the Baron is 100% dead now. It's going over to Caeli. I don't think there's anything Roskilde can do about it. And it looks like Roskilde are ready to get going again. 3 seconds and we will be once again underway. And Caeli are going to rotate straight over to this top wave. Hunika already there, has already given the Baron buff. And there's going to be the engage coming through onto Expert. Expert's being brought really low. And the perfect execution will secure the kill. It's a kill for Caeli. It's the inner turret for Caeli. It's a final inner turret for Caeli. And now Caeli will look to try to break open this base. The inhibitor turret will fall. Is there anything that they can do? Nick the Panda just pushing the waves in so hard. And the inhibitor turret will fall as Caeli will now rotate and make their way over to mid lane. In fact, they might just back and then do the same thing all over again in the bot lane. But first of all, they're just going to clear out all of the jungle camps that are in that top side. Blue buff will be given over onto Nick the Panda, just getting closer and closer to that 40% CS. In fact, he might have already hit it. Let's take a look. He is at... He might direct camera stop going. I'm trying to see how much cooldown he has. He only has 10% cooldown. He doesn't have his Essence Reaver just yet, so it's only 10% from the blue buff. However, he's got the red buff now as well, and the Zeeks has been placed on Nick the Panda, and expect to possibly be seeing... Actually, we're seeing I think Gorenge might be going for a Knight's Vow next item. He's got the null magic mantle. So definitely a possibility, or he might be going for trying to think what else could he be going for. Could be going he could be going Locket, he could be going for oh, I can't remember. It's the tank item. But anyway, right now Caeli are pushing in this wave. They're letting the cannon, Baron Empowered Minion do the work. Just attacking that turret, and it's already taken down about a quarter of its HP. Now with the second wave, gonna let that cannon minion do all the work. Dark Possession can only find I Am Your Dead, but Hunika now looking just to push that mid lane turret in. And the question is, where are you going to put sometimes? Which wave do you want him to deal with? The flag has been dropped by I Am Your Dead. He's got the drag available. As now, Caeli will commit. They are fully committing into the turret. They'll secure the inhib turret, and the inhibitor will fall as well. And now they can just rotate over to the mid lane to secure that final inhib turret. Flag and drag will come through. Trying to secure the sometimes is Maiden. So sometimes the Maiden is on that cooldown now. Once again, Caeli just going to allow that Baron buff to deal damage, and it looks like Roskilde are looking for the engage. The engage comes through, Cataclysm coming through. Glacial Fissure will find its mark. Jakobsen will fall. Flag and drag comes through. It's 3 kills for nothing so far, and Caeli are looking to clear this up. Thompson will fall. It's a double kill onto Nick the Panda, and Caeli make their way onto the Nexus turrets, and this is going to be one Nexus turret down. The second Nexus turret will completely blow up, and it will be game 2 to Caeli, as Caeli will take this to a 3rd game. Caeli playing it so well, and unfortunately the Lucian just wasn't enough, was not able to get ahead, and Caeli picking up game 2 and taking this to a best of, well, it's already a best of 3, but will take it to game 3. And Caeli just did a much better job this time of shutting out sometimes. Didn't allow him to get ahead, didn't allow him to become that massive split pushing threat that Yorick is. But on that note, guys, we will be heading into our second break. We'll be back in just a short bit for game 3 between Caeli and Roskilde, which will tie up the series. So we'll see you guys just then.
Der er så mange ting, der kan komme i vejen. Din chef,
child in Valorant has heard the tale before about the cursed mummy boy who felt his heart no more. So sad and lorn, the helpless lad, Amumu was his name. He ventured out to find a friend and learn about his bane. For many years, young Amumu traveled through the lands, determined to make friends if only they would understand. But even when Amumu stood upon the ledge of home, his hope would disappoint him and he would remain alone. But then the curse began to whisper in his ear and would confirm what was Amumu's biggest fear. It pledged that never shall someone become his friend. It pledged that he shall be alone until his end. Sorrow and despair became too much to bear.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to this best of 3 between Caeli and Roskilde. Caeli have tied things up at 1-1 after a thrilling second game. So we are ready to go and enter picks and bans for this game that will decide who is sitting in 5th place. No team can get a 2-0, so both teams are still under risk of missing out on playoffs, but it's unlikely that either team will miss playoffs. I highly doubt it. However, it is still an important game just to make it that little bit easier in their next game. As we are entered the picks and ban phases, most likely we're going to see the Darius banned. There we go, Darius being banned. Now we're going to see Kennen being banned. Go on. Ban the Kennen. They're going to ban Kennen at some point. I don't even know why I'm looking at picks and bans right now. We all know what's going to happen. There you go, Kennen being banned out. Typical. Right, they just don't want to allow Hunika to play his real stuff. Also, just to clarify, in Week 9, Roskilde are playing against a Lyra, whereas Caeli will be playing against a Capricorn. Capricorn currently sitting in 4th place, whereas Lyra is sitting in 3rd. So it's still 2 very difficult games for both these teams, which makes this match even more important. But the Morgana being banned away, Vel'Koz and Fiora once again being banned. They want to keep Captain Terrible off that Vel'Koz. So it kind of makes sense that, you know, they're banning it out. They're that little bit afraid. Also, to answer the fact that, you know, the story, counterpick the Kennen. You know, show Hunika that it can be beaten. Otherwise you just make him think that his Kennen is invincible. You need to take something, beat his Kennen so hard so he never plays it again. But the Jarvan will be picked first. Kai'Sa and Morgana being banned away. So let's see if Xbox decides to make the fatal decision of picking a Lucian while I'm casting. But the Zarya is going to be picked up. So I'm guessing perhaps a Rakan coming through here. Which... is it going to be the Rakan? I mean, I'd be surprised if they left Rakan open. Yeah, there you go. Rakan coming through. It makes perfect sense. You're not going to pick Zarya unless you really want to get your Rakan. I like that. Countess to Kennen file not found. Of course, you go Tom Kent. You go Tom Kent top. Tom Kent. You go something completely bonkers. You have to think like Caps. You have to think like G2 Esports. But we're going to get our pick. Come on, Leona. Yes, it's finally here. Gorange has been saying for so long that he wants the Leona. He's been hovering the Leona in both games. Finally, he gets to pick the Leona. What is he going to be playing with this Leona? Are we going to see a Draven? It's going to be a Sivir. Okay, so not quite the spicy, dicey Leona bot lane I was looking for. But still, it's a Leona. It's my champion. It will always hold a special place in my heart. It's the champion that has got me so far. So there you go. I'm sorry. Advance warning. I'm not going to be commenting on any of the other lanes. I'm just going to be looking at bot lane and casting over every single thing that Gorange does on the Leona. But Camille has been left open crucially, and sometimes it will be picking that up. That is not going in the jungle. That is going on sometimes. I can, unless you want to prove me wrong. Sometimes prove me wrong. Prove that is going in the jungle. Pick your Kled. Of course, the Kled is one of the champions that sometimes can play. But he has played that Camille once before. Remember the game against Evia Spirit? He went 9-3-5 because, you know, he's trying to make those big boy plays. But the Caeli's being banned away from Hunica, so clearly Roskilde are that little bit scared of Hunica's Caeli. There you go. See, Hunica, you're getting banned out, and the Riven ban coming through as well, which makes sense. I mean, Balk was just really big on the Riven. Don't forget that Darius is available, so the Camille could technically... Oh wait, Darius isn't available. It has been banned. Kled is available though, but I don't think we're going to be seeing Camille jungle, as Vladimir going to be banned away, and that of course could have been put in the mid lane, but Xerath is still free, and we did see that Xerath getting hovered before. Oh, there it is. Are they going to switch it to the... No, give us a Xerath. Xerath's spicy. God, I sound like a little child, like, guys, give us a Xerath. Okay, they're going to pick the Lee Sin, so it will be a Lee Sin jungle and a... No. Wait, what? It's an Annie mid? Okay, we've got an Annie mid, folks. There you go. Let's see how this goes. I've not seen an Annie mid in quite a while, but of course, Annie... Well, if Nick the Panda times his spell shield well, he'll just deny the entire burst of the Annie, but obviously if it's down, can get bursted down so quickly. Oh, wait, hang on. Annie is apparently a place pick for Rek'Sai, so it's going to be a Rek'Sai jungle, which... So essentially it's just because Xbox doesn't own Rek'Sai, so he can't pick the Rek'Sai, so he's just picked someone else, and it's a placeholder. Nick the Panda has picked up the Sylas, so we're going to be seeing a Sylas possibly top again, as the Irelia will be coming through. So Caeli reverting back to what they did in game 1 with the Irelia Sylas. And it's going to be a Malz... Wait, what? Okay. Yeah, Malzahar would make sense, I guess. Xerath. Go on, give us a Xerath. Yes, there you go, Xerath. Similar playstyle to the Vel'Koz. So let's see what he can do. So now, yep, we will exit the game and we will go straight back in, but this time the Rek'Sai will be picked up. And this is, I guess, a bit of the disadvantage of no longer using the Pro Draft. Because obviously on Pro Draft you can pick anybody, but on this you can't exactly. And are we ready to go? Yeah, I think that's questionable that Xbox doesn't own all the champions. Disappointing. But yeah. So once again, interested to see how this bot lane goes, because there's a Leona there, and I don't care about anything other than Leona. So there we go. But yeah, also of course watch out for... We're going to have to see how they plan on playing this, because it could be Sylas going in the top lane, or it could be Sylas going in the mid lane. So obviously if you're going into the Xerath and... I forgot who got picked in for top lane. But yeah, if you're going to go into the Xerath, Sylas might once again get poked out, just like he got poked out against that Vel'Koz. So maybe this time we'll see Falk going with the Irelia into that mid lane. But then again, so Hunica has locked in the Silas, but that doesn't mean that he's going top. You've got the Camille top, so it might be an Irelia. I'm not too sure what the better laning phase is, or who has a better laning phase in Silas against Camille or Irelia against Camille. But obviously you got the Rek'Sai and the Xerath, and the good thing about that is, while Rek'Sai is while Rek'Sai is good early game because he's Rek'Sai and he can get so much off and then he falls off late, Xerath is strong late. Xerath is one of the strongest mid laners out there late game. He's not something like a LeBlanc or Zoe, which can just kind of, whose poke remains until late. He's just really strong late game as he gets all of his items. So Camille as well will scale up quite well into late game, will be a really big split pushing threat with that Tiamat, with the Titanic Hydra. So we'll have to see how that works out. Of course, Irelia and Silas, they both scale up really well in that kind of mid to late game, kind of similar to Jhin, I believe, unless I'm mistaken. And then, of course, you've got the Xayah Rakan against the Sivir. Xayah and Sivir, they're both really strong late, so there's not too much of a difference there. Where some people like to say Leona falls off, I like to say Leona doesn't fall off. The falling off is Leona. Okay, I don't know what I was going to say. Just don't worry about me. As why is there a Wukong being shown? We know it's Rakan. The only thing is Rakan kind of counters Leona somewhat, which is why I do think this Leona is a bit of a ballsy pick, because I mean, whenever Gorange wants to engage with the E, Jakobsen will essentially just use a ground entrance on top of Gorange and just try to get off as much damage as possible. Cecia in a similar way to how you'd play against Leona if you were Galio. So we'll have to see, but of course Gorange played that bot lane, played really well in game 1, and if they can try to do that same thing, try to get Nick the Panda ahead, it could be absolutely massive. But we're going to have to see how big sometimes his Camille is, because his Darius was absolutely massive in game 1. Fortunately, he couldn't do much on the Yorick in game 2, but in game 3, it's going to be an entirely different for it. An entirely different kettle of fish. But yeah, don't forget, both teams currently tied for 5th place, both sitting on 13 points, well, now 14 points after they have both got a win. Don't forget, Crater currently sitting 3 points behind them. So Crater will need to, just looking at the next game, they need to beat EVS Spirit. But I think, actually, can someone confirm, have all the games against EVS Spirit, have the 3 points for all the games against EVS Spirit been given? Because if they have, that means that both these teams are secured and locked into playoffs. But that being said, if either team does win, it will bring them much closer to this battle for second place. Egadal Esports on 17 points, and Capricorn in 4th place on 16 points, and then whoever wins this game will be on 15. So 2 points separating from 2nd to 4th, and then it'll be 3 points from 2nd to 5th after this game, regardless of the result. We'll just change the order. But anyway, we now have a chance, now that we're in spectator delay. Yeah, I know I have the scoreboard. It's just, I don't know if the points, because I know EVS Spirit aren't playing any of the other games, so I'm not sure if all of the wins have been given to them yet. I'm not sure if all the 3-0 clean sweeps have been given to the teams that have to play against them yet, or if it's only going to happen when that week comes about. That's what I just wasn't sure. The calling. Oh, right. Oh, okay. Never mind. See, this is why I shouldn't look at the chat, right? It distracts me. Distracts me from the pro casting abilities. But going back to our game and discuss the item pickups, and it is going to be a heal for Captain Terrible in that mid lane, which is I would have expected a barrier. A barrier on Xerath makes more sense to me, just because you've got the burst coming through from Falk, Nick the Panda, Hunica. So I don't know. Even a cleanse would have been okay, just for when Gorange makes his rotations. So once again, as is probably my favorite quote of the day, we're going to have to see how it all pans out. But TP for Falk and Hunica, the only member of Roskilde with the TP, of course. Sometimes both bot laners taking Ignite and heal. So everything fairly sensible. The only thing that you could possibly question is the heal pickup from Cap Terrible. Maybe it was a terrible pickup. Just like that was a terrible pun. Right. So, now that we are in the loading screen, let's take a quick look at all the runes. Sorry, all the masteries that have been picked up. It's Conqueror on Rek'Sai. This time, this time Thompson actually has decent runes. He hasn't decided to go Conqueror Lee Sin. Conqueror Sejuani, I should say. I don't know why he went Conqueror Sejuani last time. I would like clarification on that, but is that actually a thing? Or am I just stupid, essentially? So Electrocute on I Am Your Dead, Conqueror on Hunica, Fleet Footwork on Nick the Panda, everything fairly sensible. You got the Lethal Tempo on Experts, and the Arcane Comet through on Captain Terrible, along with Press the Attack. So sometimes going for Press the Attack over the Conqueror pickup, which slightly interesting, but fair enough. It'll just give him that quicker burst, essentially, rather than those extended Wait, I always get it mixed up. Conqueror is good for because you get your true damage. If there aren't minions around and you just start a fight, then Press the Attack's better. And of course, Conqueror is better when you're fighting against multiple people, because you don't have to have Press the Attack against everyone. Whereas if you've got Press the Attack, everyone deals more damage to the target that you've procced your Press the Attack against. So it's a double-edged sword. But there you go. Less sustained though, crucially. I'm actually surprised that you go any kind of precision on Silas. I would have thought that you'd just go domination. Something like Electrocute, or even go Resolve. So the reason for the pause has been confirmed. Gorange is having some issues connecting, and as I say that, he has reconnected. Right, and now I've got a case of the hiccups. Fantastic. But it looks like we should be ready to go. First break of the game is going to be a mountain, so this could be that little bit more contested. Also, want to take a quick look at both Jakobsen and Gorange and just check that they have taken Demolish. But we're still in the pause. And again, watch out for the bot lane, because you've got the best support ever. And by that I don't mean Gorange, I mean Leona. And you're playing against one of the strongest bot lane duos about. You know, Zyricon, same kind of level as, you know, Draven Nami or Kate Morgana last season. But we are ready to go now, so let's get this game underway. And guys, get some support going in the chat. Who do you think is going to win? Will Caeli take the reverse sweep, or will Roskilde take game 3 and the win? Okay, so Gorange has actually picked up Font of Life, which I find it's a bit... Actually, I probably should have mentioned that, because if it's not Keystones, I should not mention that. Yes, that's correct. But we're going to be getting an engage. The flawless duet comes through. Expert solo. And the first blood goes over to Gorange. he has clearly been watching me play on my stream, where I just somehow steal every single kill that ever existed, even though I am not trying to. But yeah, there you go. So a good kill. Gorange will take that. Gorange will back. He will maybe be able to upgrade his relic shield, or okay, he's just gonna get control ward and some pots. Okay, he's got his boots. Nice. So you got boots and a control ward. Lovely stuff there from Mr. Gorange. What is that? What is that from Thompson? I didn't really. That's quite cool. Anyway, this is nice spam called spam taunts. Spam taunts. There you go. Anyway, once again, both junglers are going to start on their red buffs, similar to game numero uno. And we're going to have to see how this pans out. Once again, Hunika playing in that mid lane. Oh, we'll get the engage onto Captain Terrible. Get a little bit of damage off with the abduct. I'm just going to say the E. I can't be... Not going to remember that. Anyway, looking in the bot lane, Gorange, will they be able to hit 2 first? I'm not entirely sure. This is only the first wave, don't forget. So I have to wait for that second wave before they'll hit level 2. It's after the third melee minion. The top lane, everything's just kind of settling down a bit. However, level 2 has come through. The grand entrance will come through from Jakobsen. Will get off the Gleaming Quill as well. Get off that little bit of heal. But I'm your dead. Just looking around top side, looking for potential engage onto sometimes. Oh, Thompson looking that little bit low. Now, he might be getting caught out by I Am Your Dead. I Am Your Dead has a flag and drag. Will just spot him. But the passive from Thompson will give him vision. It might not be enough, though. Flash is available. He fails the flash. I'm Your Dead. No, it's going to be the Blade Surge from Falk that secures the kill. The Flawless Duet will secure the kill. Flag and drag. And it's a double kill going over onto Falk. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Nick the Panda secures a kill onto Expert. And Jakobsen is forced to get revenge onto Nick the Panda. So 4 kills to 1 and 1.5k gold advantage already. The good stuff so far from Caeli with that Leona pick. And also really good stuff from I Am Your Dead. Thompson just didn't have enough time to actually spot that I Am Your Dead was there with his passive, with the I can't remember what it is. It's when Rek'Sai's borrowed, she can, you know, tell where things are around her. Yeah. But Thompson gonna secure the Stuffed Crab. But I'm Your Dead looking for a potential engage onto this mid lane. It's gonna back off, and this game's already looking completely different from game 1 and 2. Caeli just looking so much more in control. However, Thompson is here now. I'm Your Dead will be turning up as the Eye of Destruction will find its mark. Can't quite find Hunika with the Arcana Pulse though.
The trick is to be clever and quick.
Nick the Panda level 2. Xbox just hit level 3. So Nick the Panda needs to try to get that CS. Get some CS back. It's currently sitting 10 CS down. And that's partly due. But in the top lane, actually sometimes won't get hit by the Flawless Duet. And will be able to survive. PP coming through from Hunika. As the Gorange will go through. The Blade Caller can't quite find the CC. But Experts and Jakobsen being brought quite low. To about half HP each. Exactly what Gorange needed to do. And just wait. Just expect the bot lane of Caeli to play safe. Wait for that Leona level 6. And then completely go ham onto X-Burks. Force him to try to use the Feather Storm to dodge the ultimate. And then potentially then go in with the... why do I forget the name? With the Zenith Blade followed by the Shield of Daybreak.
You never dare to set hands.
But everything's settling down that little bit. It's still a bit feisty, but no real full commits. Also, Hunika's having a much better time against Captain Terrible Xerath than he did against the Velcor, so getting used to playing the Silas mid over the course of this series, it would seem. Orange might be looking for a potential engage. Gets hit by the Gleaming Quill. Val looking for a potential engage, but sometimes it gets off the shield. Time to deny any further damage. Flawless duet once again won't quite find its mark. However, Thompson is here. Will clear out the vision. And Falk will sensibly back off. Oh, here we go in the mid lane. Hunica looking to get the damage up. Will dodge the Eye of Destruction, but not the Arcano Pulse. And has the hijack available, the ultimate, so can steal, of course, right of the Arcane. And he has stolen it. Gets hit by another Eye of Destruction, but Captain Terrible starting to run out of mana as the Arcano Pulse will come through. And Captain Terrible just slowly running out of mana slowly but surely, as Thompson will secure the Rift, the Scuttle Crab in the bot side once again. However, in the top lane, I'm Your Dead looking for the potential engage. Flag and Drag can't quite find anything though, as the tactical, sorry, not the tactical sweep. What am I talking about? As the hook shot will allow sometimes to get to safety. However, Thompson going to secure this red buff. Knows that I'm Your Dead was topside. Now could possibly go for an engage in the bot lane. Has the ultimate. However, so does Gorange. Gorange goes through with the ultimate. That's one kill. Jakobsen won't quite fall. Nick the Panda looking for potential engage. Thompson being brought quite low. Zenith Blade will be available in just a second. So will Shield of Daybreak. The heal comes through from Nick the Panda. The spell shield is clutch from Nick the Panda, and Thompson is going to fall. They use the ward, and unfortunately Gorange will steal the kill with the Eclipse. And that's what you have to do when you play, as in the mid lane, Captain Terrible being brought down quite low. Hunica does have right of the Arcane. Can he find his mark? He finds only one right of the Arcane though. As Gorange will secure a turret plating for himself, 160 gold going through solo plating gold as well. Flawless duet can't quite find his mark onto sometimes in the top lane. But don't forget, the first Drake of the game, that Mountain Drake, is up. It has been up for 3.5 minutes. Oh, as we're going to get the engage in the bot lane. As actually the Vanguard's Edge can't quite find the mark, as sometimes goes unstoppable, but sometimes it's going to find 2 kills for 1. And it's well played from sometimes going into the ultimate to deny the Vanguard's Edge. Perfect timing from sometimes. But going back to what we were saying about the Mountain Drake, surely Caeli do have priority for this, and I'm Your Dead 014 just doing that much better than Thompson, which is not what you would expect considering that Rek'Sai is early. Nick the Panda and Gorange once again just shoving this wave in against Experts. They have a very slight CS advantage. In fact, it's going to be a CS disadvantage after this wave, but it's practically even. And with Nick the Panda 2, 1, and 2 with 150 gold bounty on him, looking very, very good. As now Caeli will move over to this Mountain Drake. Thompson heading over to mid, so might try to catch Falk out. Has the ultimate available. Smite comes through. Flawless duet will find the CC. But Falk is going to get CC down. Has nowhere to go. The ultimate will come through, and Falk will fall. However, Hunica is here. He could possibly go for something. He has been able to steal the ultimate. Gets a lot of damage. Solar Flare comes through. Can Gorange find Captain Terrible? No, he can't. It's a lot of damage coming through. Hunica gets hit by 1 right of the Arcane, 2 rights of the Arcane, 3 rights of the Arcane, and Captain Terrible will secure the kill as Gorange will find the return kill onto Thompson. Gorange sitting at 3-0 and is the most fed player on his team. Classic Leona stuff, just what we like to see on this champion. Gonna just clear out that control ward. Rift Herald is up. The next Drake is going to be a Cloud Drake in just under 4 minutes. But it's 8 kills to 5 in favor of Caeli. A 2k gold advantage as Goran's just going to shove this wave. He should be able to get another turret plating. Goran's looking pretty strong. And actually, Nick the Panda, you just take a look at how much gold. He's got 1,200, so he should be able to... No, I think he needs another 200 to be able to buy the Infinity Edge. Actually, no, he's been able to buy the Infinity Edge straight up. He did have enough gold. So right now you've got an Infinity Edge, Nick the Panda versus Xbox with the BF and pickaxe. So definitely bot lane once again in favor of Caeli. Gorange has the solar flare up once again. Could possibly look for something onto Xbox because I Am Your Dead is here and the Cataclysm is available. We'll have to be careful, but it looks like there's going to be a collapse in the top lane as Captain Terrible just rotating upwards. Nothing's going to come through of it, and we might see a turret dive in the bot lane. It could possibly happen as Falk is letting sometimes run past him. Will he possibly... Does he reckon he can 1v1 him? He's waiting for Hunika to rotate up. So let's just see, because Hunika has stolen the ultimate. Now here comes Falk. They're getting the engage. The dash, the wall jump will come through. The flash to deny the flawless duet is going to come through. So well worth the rotation from Hunika. Getting that flash through. Now can Falk possibly go for something onto sometimes they both know where each other are. Will Falk go for this? He gets a flawless duet off. He's going to go in. Hunika is here. He gets the dash off. Can he get the CC? No, he can't. And sometimes will once again escape with his life. In the bot lane though, Gorange might be looking for a potential engage. No, not just yet, but Thompson is here in the top lane. Will he possibly be going for something or not? Captain Terrible not too far away and has Right of the Arcane available to him.
It's to every issue, my side and the wrong side.
Things starting to settle down. Once again, similar to the last game, we're not seeing enough all-ins or enough commits. And again, sometimes has done really well in that top lane to avoid both ganks both rotations that came through from Hunika. However, Hunika, he's going in, he's used a Camille onto Captain Terrible. He's getting the damage off. Can he get it enough? No, he can't, but he will bring Captain Terrible quite low and force the flash and possibly the back as well. However, sometimes possibly looking for a revenge rotation onto Hunika. However, I'm Your Dead not too far away though, would be able to rotate quite quickly. Speaking of rotations, you've got Thompson, who is near the bot lane, could possibly be looking for something. Now, Hunika is getting really aggressive, can sometimes go for something. Yes, he will. He comes in, he uses the ultimate. Hunika, can he get out? He can't dodge enough, and he will get blown up as 3 members of Roskilde commit onto Hunika. Now, Gorange actually he might be looking for something. He does have the flash available. He has the solar flare available. I'm Your Dead looking to sneak in, but will get caught out by the wood. He's still going to go in anyway. Has the Cataclysm available. Won't use it though, not just yet. Cloud Drake has spawned. Orange might be looking for the engage. No, he's not. They're just going to content themselves with the Scuttle Crab. As Caeli might just go for the Cloud Drake. No, they're not. But look how low X-Perks is. It's quite risky as well. Considering Cataclysm is available, there is definitely an all-in potential under turret here. X-Perks and Jakobsen playing sensibly, backing off as first turret will be going over to the Caeli bot lane. As Falk might be getting caught up by Thompson. Thompson knows that he's there. Going to sweep forwards and start on the Rift Herald as I'm Your Dead will secure the Drake.
Into the dark light.
Oh, Solar Flare's going to come through. The CC comes. Is it going to be enough? Yes, Hunika's going to get the damage off. It's going to be the kill. Gorand is there to secure it. Or to assist in the securing of it. However, Rift Herald hasn't actually been secured just yet. Thompson has tried to rotate over to this mid lane to answer the potential push. So it's a failed resources being used there by Roskilde, and Caeli are just playing the smarter game at the minute, finding these kills, finding these picks. Currently sitting 9 kills to 6 with a 3k gold advantage, and Gorand already has his Zeke's convergence. Whereas Jakobsen still, it looks like he's building towards a redemption first item, but he needs another 650 gold. He has 177, so 450, and he will be able to get it. Go for the rotation. As the bot lane move up top, they secure a second outer turret, and is feeling kind of reminiscent to game 1, where Roskilde have the early game, but are failing at. However, that being said, Captain Terrible doing a good job, as now Caeli will move to secure this Rift Herald. I don't know if there's anything Roskilde can do to really counter this. Rek'Sai is on the bot side of the map, so this is definitely going over to Caeli. As I Am Your Dead will pick up the Eye of the Herald. As Falk might be getting caught out in the bot lane. He uses the Vanguard's Edge. It's not going to be enough though. Silas TPing in. It might be a little bit too little too late. And he has TP'd to his death. And the double kill coming through onto Sometimes. And that is massive. Those are the kind of things that can turn a game on its head. The next Drake is going to be another Ocean, so we're not getting any double Drakes. As Gorange looking once again for potential plays in this mid lane.
The test of good.
Just going to sweep towards for now. Nothing more to really do. And it looks like we might just be seeing this sieging of the mid lane, while Silas and Camille, Falcon sometimes just stay in the side lane, split pushing. Oh, Solar Flare comes through onto Captain Terrible. The Zenith Blade is available. Will he go in? Yes, he's going to go in onto Expert. Finds a kill. Jakobsen really low. The Ricochet is not going to be able to get off enough damage just yet, but it's a really good pick from Goraj, as they're now going to look to secure this outer turret in the mid lane. Goraj can look to turn back in very soon. Zenith Blade is available. Won't quite use it. Thompson's really low. The engage comes through from Sometimes with the Hextech Ultimatum. Cataclysm comes through. Sometimes really low. Can Gorange find the kill? He's got the W. He will find the kill with the Zenith Blade. And it's yet another kill going over onto Gorange, who is now 5-0. It is 2 kills for 2 overall and 11 kills to 10 in the overall look of this game. Still a 3 and a bit K gold advantage to the side of Caeli, and that's a big gold bounty on Gorange at the minute. And you just have to think, if only some of those kills had gone over onto Nick the Panda, he would now essentially be 7-2-4 and Gorange would be 0-0-8. In fact, it might be more, because Nick the Panda would just have that many more items, that much more damage. At least I know I'm not the only one who kill steals on Neona.
Do you want to smell it? Not for you!
Anyway, Drake is going to be up in 10 seconds, and that is a Cloud Drake, so a nice little bit of mana regen, which will be really nice for Nick the Panda, and of course Hunica. He could potentially look for an engaged. Solar Flare comes through, followed by the Zenith Blade. There is absolutely nowhere for Thompson to go, but the flash will come through from Gorange just to make sure there is absolutely nowhere he can go. And that's going to be a kill. Or this time it will go over onto Falk, and the Drake will also be secured. Now, potentially, we're going to see a pick as On the Hunt comes through. Jakobsen, where can he go? He gets a grand entrance through, but Captain Trade forced to burn the stopwatch, but he's just going to get caught out by everything now, and he gets absolutely blown up. Falk with the kill. 13 kills to 10 now as Caeli are looking to really steamroll this game. The Rift Herald has been spawned. It's going to crash in on this mid turret. Can they defend the turret, or will Caeli? Caeli will just completely dive onto it, and there's absolutely nothing Roskilde can do right now. Captain Terrible up in 20 seconds. The Rift Herald still pushing. It's a 5v4 around this mid lane, sometimes trying to find the damage. I'm Your Dead in the back line as Hunica will pick up the kill onto Thompson. I'm Your Dead will fall. Grand entrance comes through. Falk will not be able to get the flawless QA, but he will be able to get the blade search. Jakobsen looking really low. It's just sometimes available. The kill will come through. Falk's on a killing spree, and that will be practically the ace as Captain Terrible respawns. Falk dodging right of the arcane, and Caeli are looking to end this game right here, right now. How much damage, how much poke can Captain Terrible get, as Caeli will actually back off. They don't want to commit on this just yet, but it is a clean play from Caeli, and it is well thought out as Caeli look to just snowball this right now. They will just back, and in fact, Nick the Panda with 1,800 gold might just be able to pick up his rapid fire cannon or even his Phantom Dancer. And after that first inhibitor has gone, expect just to see Falk in that top lane pushing, and then a rotation to the Baron. And rapid fire cannon has been bought by Nick the Panda. And the issue here is Xbox doesn't have the mana. He's got the IE, he doesn't have Essence Reaper, so he doesn't have the mana to really clear these waves as much as he would like to. But Captain Terrible has a lot of damage, has a lot of AoE, so Captain Terrible and sometimes can push out these waves because they do have the Tiamat in the form of that Ravenous Hydra right now. As Caeli just sweeping out all the vision. Look at this vision in the top lane, but actually moving to the bot, sometimes looking for something onto Hunica. Hunica's feeling brave. Hunica's looking to try to get something. Hextech Ultimatum comes through. Hunica gets the heal off. He finds the CC under turret. Can Hunica get anything? No, he can't. Sometimes will escape with his life after taking turret shots. However, it will buy enough time, and Caeli will secure the Baron. And that's going to be on 4 members. Sometimes has TP available. Gorange looking for the potential engage, but the grand exit will allow Jakobsen to escape to safety. And now you're going to see the rest of the members of Caeli just pushing in this top wave. I think that they're going to get this outer turret. Roskilde aren't going to be able to get there in time. They don't have any demolished stacks, but they don't need it. They deal enough damage from the Mountain Drake. The Vanguard's edge comes through. They're going to fight this 4v5. Captain Terrible is CC'd. I Am Your Dead will follow. Cataclysm comes through onto Xperx. Xperx uses the ultimate, but it's not going to be enough. Thompson looks to find something. Thompson goes unstoppable. Can he find something onto Nick the Panda? No, he can't. He's going to get chased down. Hunica will find the kill, and it is 4 kills for 1 as Gorange will finally die. And Caeli are making their way into the base. Falk and I Am Your Dead, they're looking to end this right here, right now. Can it be the clean sweep? Caeli, they're going to take the first Nexus turret. They're going to take the second inhibitor turret. Roskilde can't do anything. The cooldowns, the death timers are too large. And Caeli will secure game 3 and will beat Roskilde 2 games to 1. Really, really well played team fights in the end from Caeli to secure that victory. They won the early game, they snowballed it to the late game, and they took game 3 in convincing fashion. Caeli take the 2-1, and Caeli move up to 5th place, and Caeli secure their place in promos. But guys, I hope you have enjoyed this best of 3 series between Caeli and Roskilde. Thank you guys very much for watching. It has been a pleasure to host this. And if you haven't already, do feel free to join our Discord server. You can meet a bunch of lovely people, maybe even play with some of the people you saw today in some lovely flex and duo queue games. Maybe meet the infamous Katka and his infamous Twitch support. But all of that being said, please join us on Discord. Feel free to follow us on YouTube and Twitter as well. But I have been Milky Cereal, and this has been Caeli versus Roskilde, Week 8 of Springsplit, Division 3. And until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.